Well, Sunday is the biggest night of the year in Hollywood. The Oscars will be handed out, honoring the best in movies.
Our movie guy, Aaron Lafferty, joins us with a preview and to help make some picks of who are going to win.
Yeah.
This has been hotly debated for weeks.
Yes.
Exactly.
And some would say it's kind of like a tale of two movies.
Yes.
This
yes.
award
Yeah, we
ceremony.
have two front runners. So to get a preview of this year's Oscars, for Best Picture, I spoke to actor, producer, presenter Kevin Spacey about his movie, Oscar-nominated The Social Network. And I also talked to Oscar historian Robert Osborne about the King's Speech.
You know, you never know when you set out whether a film that you are going to make is going to capture the imagination and even do well at the box office. But I think that why Social Network has done so well, and certainly why it's been nominated for 8 Academy Awards, is because it does do that thing that I think film should do, which is it both captures its time, but it's also timeless.
Really getting the impressions of the people who have voting power in the Academy, and I think it very much indicates a win for the King's Speech as the Best Picture of the Year and certainly for the Best Director of the Year. But I think the list is good this year, and I think it's a well-rounded list and gives a good indication of the movies we were kind of allowed to see in the year of 2010.
Interesting. And you know, Aaron, I was really struck, and I was torn this year because the first movie I saw this year was Social Network, and it was such a well-crafted movie.
Right. It's kind of like, if we look back to last year, where Avatar was kind of a summer release that got like both box office numbers and critical acclaim, and it kind of had this push going to Oscars, and then you know, the later movies, the last couple months of the year, they start bringing out the big guns, and then you know.
It's interesting too. I think a lot of people have seen it because I saw it on DVD because it was released early. I haven't seen the King's Speech yet, but I know I need to see it.
Right, before Sunday. You better hurry.
I know, really fast. And so we're talking about making our picks here between the three of us. You probably have your picks that you've made at home, or at least in your head. The big one, of course, and it's usually the last one of the night, is Best Picture. Right.
And we've got 10 nominees again this year, which kind of widens it to everybody. So if we want to take a look at the nominees, you got Black Swan, you got The Fighter, Inception, The Kids Are All Right, The King's Speech, The Second Five, 127 Hours, The Social Network, Toy Story 3, True Grit, and Winter's Bone. Kind of a wide variety for everybody. Kind of gets more people watching too.
Right, and you know what? I after I saw The King's Speech, I thought I can't imagine another movie that. I mean, even as much as I loved Social Network this year, I just there's no way. And I'm sad that you haven't seen it yet, Rachel.
No,
because
I
you're
need to
really
get there. I've heard so much that I picked that as Best Picture, and I just all the buzz about it and all the nominations. I think that's going to win. So that's my choice.
And I also picked King's Speech.
So we're unanimous.
How about that? We're unanimous.
As much as
first time.
As much as I loved Social Network when I saw it, I think The King's Speech is a little more Oscar-worthy. Maybe wide appeal, Social Network's better, but King's Speech will probably stand the test of time, kind of like Hurt Locker did last year versus Avatar. I think that's going to be our winner.
Yeah, really well done. Okay, so then we move on to the other big categories, and you know, we've got a lot of star power with the nominations this year.
Right, for Best Actor. Let's take a look at those. We got Javier Bardem in Beautiful, Jeff Bridges in True Grit, Jesse Eisenberg, Social Network, Colin Firth is King's Speech, and James Franco for 127 Hours.
Colin Firth? I gotta keep going on the theme.
Another unanimous.
Decision.
Definitely Colin Firth. I mean, if you watch this movie and had never seen Colin Firth before, you might think that he had a speech impediment. It was that good.
Yeah, he did just a magnificent job.
I mean, this is your slam dunk. If you were allowed to bet on the Oscars, that would be the one to bet on.
Informal bets. No.
Yeah.
What about on the flip side, Best Actress?
Best Actress. Well, we could see a surprise. You got to at least keep that option out there. Annette Bening and The Kids Are All Right. She's been nominated so many times, hasn't won, so she might have that going for her. Nicole Kidman in Rabbit Hole, Jennifer Lawrence in Winter's Bone. Natalie Portman is probably the front runner. She's won every other award leading up to this point, and Michelle Williams in Blue Valentine.
And I understand, I haven't seen Blue Valentine. I understand Michelle Williams was phenomenal in that movie.
That's what I've heard as well.
And Annette Bening, you know, the Academy, you wonder if this is the year that they give it to her because she's not won and has been nominated.
Right. Well, we saw The Kids Are All Right, and I think it's a role that was very good, but she almost did it so effortlessly it might get ignored as far as getting the award. She obviously got nominated, but it may just be she was so effortless in that role, it almost seemed like it was her, if you will, that she may not, it's not so much a changing character.
I think like Colin Firth, Natalie Portman really overcame some obstacles. There was a lot of dancing, there was a lot of physical demand in the role, and that's why I think she's going to win Best Actress.
She lost a bunch of weight
Natalie
for the role.
Portman is my choice for it.
Mine
too. I think we're unanimous.
And I think unanimous on all three of these.
What's the deal?
This is where I think we're going to, after this one, we get some differences of opinion.
Okay, so we go to Best Supporting Actor.
Okay. We got Christian Bale for The Fighter, John Hawkes in Winter's Bone, which is a really good performance, but probably not enough people saw it. Jeremy Renner in The Town. The Town was overlooked. I thought that should have been a Best Picture.
It was a good movie.
You've also got Mark Ruffalo in The Kids Are All Right. A role I don't really know if it was really Academy Award worthy, and obviously Jeffrey Rush in The King's Speech.
Okay, I picked Jeffrey Rush because I thought he made the movie. I loved that dynamic between his character and Colin
That relationship, that chemistry was awesome.
He's amazing, too.
Yeah. So, Jeffrey Rush here.
I'm going Christian Bale.
I'm also going Christian Bale. I mean, it was a role where, again, physically transforming himself into a role and finally getting some credit for all the movies he's done before.
Okay, interesting.
And he's won every award
Supporting
up to this
actress?
point. Supporting actress, got Amy Adams in The Fighter, Helena Bonham Carter for The King's Speech, Melissa Leo for Fighter, Haley Steinfeld in True Grit, Jackie Weaver in Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom, a movie that not a lot of people have seen. It's out on DVD, but it was kind of a small release movie.
I stuck with my King's Speech. I took Helena Bonham Carter.
You're making the whole
that
run.
movie.
I did. I loved her.
I didn't know a lot about these roles, and so I kind of went with the gal that's kind of been winning, and that's Melissa Leo.
Right.
So
same with me, Melissa Leo. She had a great role in Frozen River, and I think this one really pays off. Frozen River got her attention, and The Fighter really gets her over the top, I think.
Okay, Best Director. Sticking with The King's Speech.
Yeah, Jeremy Aronofsky for
you
Black
are
Swan.
consistent.
I am.
David O. Russell, The Fighter, Tom Hooper, King's Speech, David Fincher, Social Network, and the Coen Brothers for True Grit.
Okay, between the two movies, the two big movies, I had to go with David Fincher because I had to give a little love to Social Network because I'd kind of gone in the direction of King's Speech for the others.
Yeah, I'm definitely staying with Tom Hooper, King's Speech. I think it's going to be Best Picture, Best Director, same thing.
I think so too.
Again this year.
And then I think definitely
Although Social Network was very good.
Aaron Sorkin is going to win for Best Screenplay
And that's
for
a good
Social
pick
Network.
too.
So,
And we're
there
both
we
thinking
go.
Toy Story 3 for
For
animated.
Best Animated,
Yeah, I think so,
hands
too.
down.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we have one more segment coming up.
Yes, we do. Yeah, Oscar, Sunday night on WMTV.
Sunday night OTV, the pre-coverage begins at 7, so you can watch the red carpet behind-the-scenes stuff.
Oh,
And Tom
The
Hanks,
dresses.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks will be the first presenter. I can tell you that scoop.
Okay,
Wonderful.
perfect.
Okay,
Yeah.
more movie news when we come back.
Hi, I'm Gerald Clement from Caledonia, and my wife Gail and I will be VIPs at the Oscar party, and we are definitely West.